cranked up. And wait.
We are on the Tilton. We'll support you till the end of the day. We're so happy following the blues. We love you, what more can we say? Birmingham's the team, down at St Andrews. We are all supporters of our team. We chanted Super Blues, ringing all around. Now all you blue boys know what we mean. We are the lads from the Tilton. We'll support you till the end of the day. We're so happy following the blues. We love you, what more can we say? Let's hear you in the pub, singing our song, helping and sharing the load. It's worth the point at home when we sing together. We're there at the end of the road. We are the lads from the Tilton. We'll support you till the end of the day. We're so happy following the blues. We love you, what more can we say? We have the team that's tops here at St Andrews. They gotta give us what we're longing for. It's Birmingham forever, let's hear it from the stand. So come on, city, sing this song once more. We are the lads from the Tilton. We'll support you till the end of the day.
Well, 6:33 till 8, ladies and gents, girls and boys. This, of course, is the Tilton Talk Show. Every single Monday, apart from when we're not here, throughout the year. And this is sponsored by Bold Sports, principal sponsor of Birmingham City Football Club. And I want to introduce you to the team tonight, the one and only Mrs. Browne, Mr. Browne, Chris Browne.
Get it right. Good evening.
Well, look, I've done it for 11 years. You're going, like that. You don't do it anymore.
No, I don't know.
Yep.
Don't do that anymore. I've been told.
Mark Adams, who we're going to have a little discussion with it very shortly.
Hello, everybody. Good evening, all. Hope everyone's
Don't
okay.
scratch it too much, mate. It's more will come out.
It might come off.
Alan Watto, chairman of the board.
Good evening, gentlemen. I'm just showing the audience my injury.
Well, hang on. No, you've got to say good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You can't just do the gentleman bit. That's.
Oh, sorry. Of course. My apologies. And yes, good evening to the ladies. And especially those two ladies that picked me up off the street this afternoon.
Well, it happens every week, doesn't it, mate?
I never drink anymore.
He's usually standing on the corners.
And the man himself, the one and only Mr. Craig Courtney.
Good evening, all.
Got it?
Well, short and sweet.
Well, short.
Harsh.
All the way from Dallas, ladies and gentlemen. Dallas in the United States of America. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Mr. Wayne Meredith.
No, he got his name wrong.
Oh, well, don't matter.
Hey, evening all. I can go. Hey, I've been called worse. Don't you worry about that.
Yeah, I believe
you might be called worse a lot more tonight.
Seriously.
You will when Nick gets his memory back.
Yeah.
I don't have a memory, Chris. What's his surname?
Brian.
Huh?
Brian.
What do you mean, why?
I said Brian. God, he's deaf as well.
Right. I've never heard of him.
Spall. Nick Spall. That's his name, yeah?
Yeah, that'll do. That's near enough. Everybody's a relation of mine. Anybody and everybody. We're all family. Great to see my old friend Auntie Linda yesterday, who popped in as a surprise. Unfortunately, I was in bed at 11 o'clock in the morning, got me up and made me open the gate. But we had a laugh, and Jack came over as well. Great to see him. He's a growing young lad. He's got all of his life in front of him, and he's marvellous. He's wonderful. He's lovely to be around. He's bubbly, and I didn't play football with him because I would have been dead.
Yeah, you got to watch it at your age.
End up, I promise you.
Yeah,
No.
you got to watch it at your age.
Right, okay. Now to the serious bit. 12 points up for grabs. None bagged. None. Not one. Not an iota. We're starting to be the punch bag once again. Not quite as bad as for Stoke, but we ain't far off. This is worrying. Who went to the game, please?
I didn't go, unfortunately. No.
I was working, so no. Craig?
No, same here, I didn't go. No.
No.
Did anybody watch
highlights?
Highlights! Are you mad, man?
There were some highlights. Not many, but some.
I did watch the whole Sorry show.
Yeah. And it was a sorry show, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'm with Alan. I watched the whole thing, and it's 9 a.m. here in the morning, so it's the whole day of depressingness after.
And that Birmingham City Football Club is from Dallas in the United States of America. That's how you're making your supporters feel.
Yeah. Mark, right, when you watch the game in America, do you watch it on your own, or do you watch it with a bunch of friends, or what, or the wife, or the lad? Or
I ain't got many friends.
No. I was going to say, I don't think you got any of you.
Not wearing that shirt, anyway.
I was going to say a bunch of cowboys.
My wife watches it sometimes, and my little boys around, but mainly just on my own. I got the Blues TV, so I normally sit down and get ready for it, but just another, like I said, another depressing time, and it gets to the stage where you don't really want to wake up and watch it anymore. But we're fans, and we're going to keep doing it. But it's the same old story. Another relegation fight, I think, for this year.
Yeah,
I mean, just following on from that, Mark, I don't think for a minute we'll go down. I mean, I still think I think we're just going to finish the usual bottom seven.
Mark, can I just remind you? 12 points, none taken.
Yeah.
That scares me, mate. I promise you.
I agree. We are plummeting, but I've just got a feeling that, as usual, it'll just be a complete deja vu of the last few years. I think
what Mark's trying to say is it's normal.
We were 4 points off the playoffs before Christmas.
I know.
And then we were only a jolly merry time, la 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 la, and then we're back in the doldrums again.
I just think we get so used to it now, though. This is every season's the same conversation, and even if we do stay up, how long does that go on for? Because year after year we're watching the same stuff and hoping the last two games of the season are good for us.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
It's worth noting before Christmas, yes, we were 4 points off the playoffs, but we were only 7 points off the relegation zone.
No, but with another 12 points, so if we'd have bagged them 12 points, where would we be now?
We would be
euphoric. We would be euphoric.
We were never going to back those points. Never in a million years.
I know we weren't, but if I can dream.
we had 2 home games, and we also played our bunnies on Saturday, and still come up blank. That's the disappointing thing. I mean, the Burnley match, it was all over at 1 minute past 8. But the other three, we should have got points from all 3 games. We don't expect to win all 3, but we were awful. The defence was shot to bits. People suddenly, again, I go back to the World Cup. The 3 blokes that went to the World Cup have been awful since they come back.
It's almost sorry, Alan.
Even I mean, he played for 10 minutes. And he must have been on a bender for the other 3 weeks because he's not been anything like he was. Bielik, he got his place in the Polish team. Is he still firing? Doesn't look like it. He was was it the first goal or second goal? I can't remember now. But the bloke ran through on his own. It was his bloke, and he was 18 yards off him by the time he got his cross in. It was, what's his name? The Welsh lad, James.
JJ.
What did he go there for? To carry the boots and the bags. He could have been on our training ground for 3 weeks we could be making him a better player. You know, I mean, you won't get me to say anything good about the World Cup, and when it affects my team, you know, I've got even less to say. It's just been horrible since that World Cup finished. It's just been horrible.
I totally agree. Craig, time to panic?
I don't think it's time to panic. The one thing, Saturday, there was a gamble. They actually did something that fans have been asking for a long time on Saturday, and that was go and bloody attack. But the only problem was they attacked and had nothing behind them to support that attack. So soon as they came back at us, and if you look at the goals, they all came from counter attacks. So they were ripping us down the wings, and therefore we just got punished through, for me, a very, very, very poor defence on the day and a non-existent midfield. It's the thing was, when we went forwards, we actually did look dangerous. The first 10 minutes of the game, which is parts that I did catch, we looked dangerous. We looked promising. Their heads dropped after we conceded, and to concede that goal so early in the second half as well, that was just a nail in the coffin at that point. Couldn't see any way of coming back. Do I think we need to get players in? Yeah, we need another 2, and we desperately need probably a left back for me, and definitely a striker. If the rumours that are circulating at the moment, Hugo, I kind of hope not, because I don't think he's the answer. But I'm happy to be proven wrong. You know, anybody that comes in and wears a blue shirt, I will support. And I'll be happily proven wrong, but I just don't see him as the answer at the moment. But we need to definitely back Eustace, otherwise we will be in a relegation scrap. But not yet.
You know what the frightening bit is, though, Craig? Next game's against Forest Green Rovers, and we haven't won in 4.
It could come at the right time, though. You know, I said it last week, but confidence breeds confidence. So we go down there and we get a result, then it takes us into the weekend on a bit of a high. And don't get me wrong, I am far from writing off losing down there, because Forest Green have got something to play for. You know, Birmingham.
It's their Wembley, isn't it? It's their final.
Yeah, but we've also got it the league lower, so you know their league's lower, and they want to prove that they can get in and around and about. So I'm far from writing it off, but my head tells me we'll get the result, go through to that 4th round, and you know what? The longer we stay in the cup, the better, because it gives us the added money coming in, and it's not going to be much coming from Blackburn, but it's still a game. And if we get through that, why can't we get that big draw that we all want? You know, and would we want it at St Andrews? No. You know, if I was there, and who would I want to draw? Man United, Chelsea, Spurs, somewhere like that, at their place, extra revenue, day out for the fans, nothing to lose, no pressure on us. That's what we need.
Spot on. I think. I mean, hand on heart. I think we're going to make changes tomorrow. I think that's obvious. We're going to have 4 or 5 changes, and I think we'll scrape through. I know some people have said play the first 11 and get a result, but I think we can afford to make a few changes. I think Hannibal should be fresh. I think give the likes of JJ a start. Etheridge will probably play. I don't think anyone's travelling there expecting to see the first choice 11. And if you do, I think you'll be disappointed. I think it'd be a bit naive to think that, to be fair. So I think we will see a few changes. But hopefully they'll have something to prove as well, though. You know, could be a chance to stake a claim for Saturday. And like you say, if we do scrape through, which I think we will, and we get Blackburn. I mean, Blackburn shipped 4 on Saturday. Is the league more important?
I'm hating this conversation. We're going to scrape through against Forest Green. We should be knocking 7 colours of everything out of them, kid.
I know, but to be fair, though,
I know,
it
never happens.
Oh, me, I went to the Kitty Miss Harry game. You know what I mean? I stood on the cop, sobbing my heart out.
Yeah, I know. But I mean,
I honestly think these games are the hardest ones in the cut. You know, I think you go to a small place like that, and as you said in the earlier conversation, Craig said they got nothing to lose, and their fans are on it. You know, it's a big scalp for them wherever they play in a higher league. So I just think I'd certainly rather be going to Chelsea or Spurs away and being that underdog than go into a game like this in the form we're at, knowing that, you know, this team could get beat, and then it's an even worse story for everybody moving on into Wednesday.
Yeah.
I'm not at work on Wednesday, right? Okay, I'm going to my dear auntie's funeral in Warwick and Leamington Spa. So I'm not at work at Wednesday, and I think I feel grateful for that at the moment, the way I feel at the moment. Sorry, Alan, go on.
Funny screen, have got 4 ex-Blue Noses in their team and 1 Aston fan.
Yeah.
That's how
Writing's on the wall, mate. Writing's on the wall, Alan. I promise you.
Banana skin.
Yeah.
I think we need to put a winning side out. Whatever that 11 is, that's up to the manager. But we don't need to throw everybody, you know, any full of kids. I mean,
No.
It would have been an ideal time to play Bellingham, perhaps. But he's injured. Another one, injured in training. How the hell do we get these people injured in training? We had Chong off for 6 months for an injury in training where he passed the ball 10 yards and then couldn't walk for 6 months. I mean, what is going on? You know, if somebody gets a bad injury, you know, in the line of duty, fair enough. But these injuries, and Hogan and Sanderson Saturday were not fully fit. Nowhere near. I don't think Hogan touched the ball before half time. I spotted him. I thought, oh, he's playing, is he? I couldn't remember him touching the ball.
Yeah.
I've been to a few games like that.
Hey?
Been to a few games like that, mate. It's him! Look, it's him.
And Long, he looked poor, didn't he? Really?
Oh, he was dreadful. Again, we say he's been critical. You know, I said in my blog, he couldn't pass, he couldn't head, and he got no pace. Now the poor bloke, he's 32 years of age and hasn't played for 7 months.
No.
Now we throw him into a vital game and wonder why it goes wrong.
Yeah.
Now, all things being equal, he should have been on the bench.
Who else have we got for that position now, Alan?
Pardon? Well, we haven't. That's the mess we're in. Because we've got.
For me, though, guys, on that. Sorry, Alan. For me, on that, I would put at this stage, I would put Bellick at the back, and I'd bring someone in like JJ or Hall if he's fit, and just to steady that ship. Because I think I'm right. You're right with a player that hasn't played for 7 months, including next to Sanderson, who's still not 100% fit.
No.
You know, we're writing a nightmare before we even go out there.
Yeah.
To be fair, Mark, as well. I think I read that Long. He's played 28 games in 4 years.
4 years. I was just about to say the same fact. Yeah, 28 games in 4 years.
It's almost like putting me on, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can see why. Yeah, they got offloaded. Yeah.
None whatsoever. I'm 61 years old, right, and I struggle to walk, let alone run. You know, it's like, come on, Blues, for crying out loud.
61.
Yeah.
How many games in how long?
28 in 4 years.
Jeebus, crying out loud.
Yeah, on average.
28. So 28.
7 games a season.
40, that's 42 hours of football in that time.
Well done.
Yeah, probably some of them were for Ireland, not for Burnley.
Don't worry, Chris, I had my calculator.
Yeah, I just saw him walk past.
I mean, that's just, you know, surely there's some better option. I'm not slating him, it's not fair, but you know what I mean? Surely there's better options or just something, even in the academy or the kids or just something, you know.
Well, we got 2 young centre halves.
We got Campbell, haven't we? Yeah.
And they're both injured.
And they're both injured.
He's been injured for 6 months.
Wasn't in training by any chance, was it, Alan?
Could have been.
Let's look at a few positives from Saturday.
Oh, please!
And there were some.
Yeah, we got Booker Pies back.
Well, no. Let's look at the new lad at the striker when he came on. Right,
Excellent,
great finish. Yeah.
Why wasn't he on from the start?
Yeah. Also, for me, and Mark will come on to it, and that's Mr. Road, Mark, I should say, but we'll come on to it later. But Hannibal, you know, he come on, and when he came on, he again gave that little bit extra for me. We saw a bit more out of him than we do from the start of the game. The other thing is we scored 2. I know we're up against it, but we scored. And one was a penalty, yes, but we still scored. So if we were shipping 4 goals and not coming back, I think I'd be a hell of a lot more upset than what I actually am. And don't get me wrong, I'm angry, but there are positives to take away, and they're positives that we need to take forwards to the next game. We need that. The striker has to start. I don't think he'll get a game tomorrow, unfortunately. I think I don't know whether
he's not allowed to play. He's eligible.
Can't play
which is a shame. But that to me gives an opportunity tomorrow for Hogan to get out there, get some more match time, hopefully get a goal, and you know, again boost his confidence going into Saturday. God, I've said it Saturday at 3 o'clock at home. But you know, going into that game, but. There are positives to take away, and I think, do you know what the other thing for me, the brutal honesty of the manager. You know, he didn't hold back. He simply said it. It was poor, and he named them. You know, takes a lot, and for me, it takes a bit of balls to actually name players.
Do you know what that reminds me of, Craig? That reminds me of Browne Clough.
It is brutal honesty. You know, sometimes that's the part. Yes, it hurts. But I tell you what, if I was a player and I'd been slated by my manager, then next game I'd want to go out and say,
"Yeah, but like a rocket."
I'm going to stick my fingers up to you at the end of this because I know I can do 1,000 times better than that. And that's hope that happens.
You keep your fingers where they are. We'll just go through a few of the comments. Stephen Gill said should have started Khadra and left Hogan on the bench. Last week, Mark, you said it was good business. Make your mind up. Ooh. Michael says, cool, calm and collected and like a shovel. I won't go for that one. We've got to drop Bacuna, give him a kick up the backside, says Mark Brooks. Hannibal was our best player by distance after he came on, says Damien Kelly. For me, our bad form has coincided with the takeover beginning and falling through. Genuinely don't think these players want to play for our current owners.
Agree more.
We can get into that as well a bit later as well. Not getting those early chances in because causes most of our problems, says Steve Portman. Dave Twine, Williams did okay for the first 5 games. What's happened to him? Could have stuck Colin in centre half. Hogan and Duke. Hogan and Duke tomorrow for me, says Michael Woods.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
And we've more or less caught up. Bacuna seems to have developed a negative attitude. There we go. Going back to your comment earlier as well, Craig, confidence breeds confidence.
Yeah, and I just look at the team at the start of the season and you know, we are missing key players. You know, Harley Dean has held our defence together, and we're desperately missing him. Hopefully, when he gets back in, we'll see that bit more security. However, the rest of the players on the field have got to hold their hands up and say, "Well, hang on a minute, one man doesn't make a team."
You've got to step in.
What are we doing? Yeah, what are we doing differently? You know, what's happening? What's not going right? Let's correct it. Because whilst I agree the manager can come up front and say, hey, you know what I mean, I picked the team. But he's not the person that's kicking the ball on the pitch. And where we're, you know, talking about and seeing the comment there around the players not playing for the current owners. Yeah, I couldn't give a damn if they're not playing for the current owners. I want them to play for the badge. You know what I mean? They play for the fans,
Craig.
And the fans, yeah.
Really,
yeah. Yeah.
It does seem well, sorry, Nick. I was just going to say, I'll say, touching on that, it does seem that the boys who went to the World Cup, now the World Cup's out of the way, they just seem to have lost interest. Were they trying to impress? You know,
absolutely. Yeah. They came here. Trustee, unfortunately, didn't make the side, and that's affected him. I wouldn't say he's dipped massively, but he's not as commanding as he was. He doesn't look as determined as he was. And of course, you suddenly, the bloke next to it is changing every week. And the bloke on his left is changing every week. Poor bloke don't know where he's coming and going after time. But I understand. I mean, everybody's frustrated. I understand the manager's problems. He's got massive injuries like we've had before. He's had to sign or bring in people, who aren't any better. Aren't any better than the ones we've got. And obviously, if they haven't played 4 games in a season or whatever it is, they're not going to be up to scratch. Now, had we been able to have played our cup tie with those in, might have helped a bit, because Long wouldn't have been under quite as much pressure as he was Saturday, hopefully, and. We couldn't have played. We couldn't have played Cadra, could we? All the other boys could say, right, let's get this job done, and think about, because we've got a week between that game and Bristol. Now we've got 4 days before we got to play a very important league game. Now that's the other thing I wanted to say. We're always moaning, both this manager and his predecessor. They've had an extra day's break than us.
Oh, crap.
Saturday, Bristol City had played their cup game, right? We've been sitting on our backsides. Okay, they had a practice match on Saturday. So where did our advantage come? We've had a fortnight's rest. They've had to play a cup tie on Saturday, which they lost, I think. They come out fit and firing, and we're at the races. How does that work? And I don't want to hear this gap between games being always against us, because it isn't always against us. It can't possibly be.
If it was against us, it would be against everybody, wouldn't it?
Of course, yeah. When we play on a Wednesday,
it's not even a credible excuse.
When we play on a Wednesday, it means we've had more time between games than other people. If we play on a Tuesday, it'd be less, and vice versa.
Alan,
it's just a feeble excuse.
Alan, when I was in the army, we trained every day, every goddamn day, every single day. You're pushed to your limits.
Yeah. Oh well. Yeah. Can't argue with that kind of philosophy. It's, I mean, apparently they got straight back on the bus, went back to West Hills, and had an 11 on 11. Now,
and a what? Sorry,
11 against 11. So, why did we do that if we've got injured players, and wanted to keep? But we didn't. We had a full-on match. Now, what? Who got injured in that?
Yeah.
You see, even in the army, they gave you rest time. They did let you rest in between sessions. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And wow. I can't believe that's happened. That's, I think, a very crazy decision by somebody.
Yeah. No, I think the 11v11 was after the FA Cup game, wasn't it? Alan, being cancelled. Yeah, rather than it being this weekend. I know where you're coming from, Nick. But I mean, to be honest, I'm kind of in favour of that. I'd rather have a kick-about than anything else. I agree about the injuries, but I think we still need to keep that match fitness and build on what has been a lack of fitness, I think, since we have come back from the World Cup. And I think there's a few comments that are on the shout box around it at the moment as well. It's the players have got to stand up and answer and be accounted for. The manager does do things, the tactics, but it's the players that can see what's going wrong. They have brains, use them, change it.
Yeah.
Nigel Mann, the players are still playing for a fee that the current owners have paid. They play for us and the honour of being a BCFC player. If not, get out and get the passion back into the club. Simple. And it is. It's so, we want people that are fighting for the shirt. And we saw that. We did see that. And I really do believe that the injuries, the spine of our team has been impacted by the injuries. When we see these players come back, we can easily, and we are capable of going back on those runs. What we've got to do is get through ultimately what every team has, which is a tough period. Nobody's absolutely steadfast in this league, and safe from relegation. We're still, I look at it this way: we're still 4 points off that bottom three. We've gone through a period of scoring no points in the last 12, but we're only 3 points worse off. So that tells you something about this league, and the fact that actually the teams below us are equally as poor. So we do need to go into a period where we can be getting some stability and settle down. But also, we're going to go through this rocky patch. We were never going to continue as a team performing week in, week out. It's not Birmingham City for a start off. We always do things the hard way. I just want it to end. Get a stability. Get a proper dirty 1-0. Who cares how it comes, right? It comes off the arse of the defender. We just do not care.
Off a dead dog.
Sorry, he's playing backside.
Yeah.
Here's my analogy. Sorry, Wayne. Mark, I'll be a minute, right? Then I'll bring you straight in, I promise you. If me, here I am, 61, passed it, right? But when I was 20, when I was in the army, I was running marathons. I was jumping fences, running around, Warwick Racecourse twice, jumping the fences. I was as fit as a fiddle. I have 2 left feet, and they both point backwards. Believe me, I have absolutely no coordination. But let's assume that I was just below the striker at Birmingham, the official striker at Birmingham City Football Club, yeah? And I'm begging to get into that team. And I'm begging to get into that team. But I can't, because he's scoring and he's scoring and he's scoring. And then all of a sudden, like what's just happened, he's taken an injury and they bring me in. I would give my life for that opportunity to have that bloke never play again. End of.
Nick, Mark, just before we come over to yourself, Dom Kavanagh, I think, has just summed it up beautifully. And that's that he thinks it's too comfortable for some of the players knowing that the gaffer has few alternative options to play. Yeah. And therefore, needs the incentive, more incentive for your place. Too little investment at the top half of the squad. And that is so true. Yeah. If I'm sitting there and I'm performing mediocre, I'm going to continue to perform mediocre if there is nobody to push me for my spot. So the threadbare side of our squad, if that was to improve and we were to have competition, all right, and it's got to be competition. We can't just bring the young lads in for the sake of bringing the young lads in, even though some of them, for me, are ready. It's got to be right. Otherwise, you bring them in for one game and we get annihilated. Them kids are just going to lose every piece of confidence that they may well have got coming into the game. And Mr. Meredith, from your time at the club and the coaching, I suppose, that you do at the moment, I guess that point around having competition is key, isn't it? It's key to keeping people eager.
100%. You've got to have it from all the way through. And what I was going to say before, I feel for Eustace a little bit in regards to the, the 6 loan thing that we have. He's admitted on Saturday he's had to leave Longello out, which, a decent left back. Don't get me wrong. Last couple of games he struggled. He's only a young lad. But you're having to play a right back at left back. Sorry, a right winger at left back. Just because you're forced not to be able to have this left back that you have play in the team because of your loans. And, that's where I think from the ownership point of view, do we, and we talked about a transfer for a left back, do we buy a new left back and send Longello back, or do we try to buy one of the 6 loan players so that Longello can be there for selection? Because you imagine the feeling between the 6 loan players, knowing that one of you are going to be dropped each week. Now, it can go both ways. It can push you in the direction of, I need to play better to keep the spot.
Yep.
Yeah.
But it also could be in a negative way of going, well, however I train, however I play, he's going to select these 5 over me anyway.
Marcus, I suppose that depends on where your head's at as well, doesn't it?
100%. We talk to our players all the time. We want to be competitive. And, I was listening to about the 11v11 game we had. I think that's a good idea. I think we miss games here and we make sure we scrimmage either indoor, we have friendlies indoor or outdoor just to keep the players moving. I also think you have to, we talk about injuries in practice, but again, on another point from a coach, you want practices to be competitive. You have to have your practices at the level of what a game's going to be to get those players ready for the game. So I think the tempo of it and the aggressiveness of it, I don't really mind. And if it's an injury between two players in an aggressive tackle, then there's not much you can do. That can happen anywhere. Yeah. I just, if it's a muscle strain and things like that, then, it may be different on what work rate they're doing. But for me, the winter break has killed us, and it's strange because totally agree, at the start of the season, I looked at it and thought this winter break would be great for a team like ours with the numbers that we have in our squad. I thought, But it hasn't. We went. I know we lost the Sunderland game, but we went into the Sunderland game thinking that we could really get promoted. I hate to say it, but that was where we were with it. And, we got beat at Sunderland, and then since then, we're back to this negativeness again, and really, looking over our shoulder. Now we actually are 6 points above the bottom three and not four, because obviously Huddersfield's late goal that they conceded on Saturday. But again, you're still looking behind you instead of looking in front. And that's the negative part of what we are at this club right now, because I don't see anything else apart from looking behind us. I talk to my dad all the time, and my dad goes to all the games, all the home games. And, just chats is that even when we're winning games, it's still looking at the teams below us and not the teams in front of us. And, it's tough, but that's how we have been created over the last, 8, 9, 10 years. And when is that going to change? And sometimes it's not just the owners. Sometimes it's the players in front of you standing up and being professional footballers like they should be. They get paid to do a job. And if I'm a professional footballer, I want to go out there and perform every week, whoever I play for the, for the badge and for the fans, let alone who's running the club.
Great thoughts there. Well said. Okay, I want to change the tact a little bit slightly now, because we've got a guest in all the way from the United States of America. And Mark, tell us about your life and how you became a Birmingham City fan and how you've moved to America, what you do there, what you did here.
Again, going back to my dad, is obviously we were born into it. We lived in Tyseley. Mum and dad's still there, so we were just born into Birmingham City. Had season tickets from a young age. So myself and my brother and my dad went to all of the home games and then some of the away ones. And then when I started to be a coach myself, I was lucky enough to get a job with Birmingham in their community department, and then that moved on to actually working in the academy for just over 8 years. So, it was a passion of mine to be there and, work with some of these younger players coming through. And then, seeing some of these younger players now performing in not just our first team, but obviously other first teams around. I moved to Norway. I coached in Norway for 3 years.
Beautiful country.
Yeah, it's very nice. And I had a great time. My issue was, the language barrier was hard. I tried to learn Norwegian and found it really difficult. And even though they all speak English, I think, as an English boy, we're very lazy at language, and I never learned another language. So, I struggled. And then I moved to the United States, and that's where I met my current wife, and we have a little boy.
Sorry, what made you move to the United States?
I came over for summer camp. So I came over just doing like 6 weeks in the summer. Coaching, yeah, on a thing called Challenger Sports, which is a British coaching camp that they run all through the America, and they bring over young English coaches just to stay 6 weeks. You stay with a host family. You just fall in love with the place. You fall in love with the way of life and everything like that. So it was always in my mind that when I went home, I'd certainly want to come back full time. And so I came back just after on more of a work visa. And then obviously, like I say, I met my wife and we now have a 5-year-old. So obviously it all went from there. And to be honest, I miss Birmingham City, and I miss my family for sure. But apart from that, and I'm proud to be a Brummie, and I always will be, but I don't miss anything else.
What is the time there now in Dallas?
We are 1:10 in the afternoon.
1:10 in the afternoon. What is the temperature?
It's about 82, and I'm ready to go for a swim.
Wouldn't you not rather be sat in a beer garden in Birmingham in -3 in the drizzle?
A beer garden.
I'll send you guys a photo outside the pool when we finish the show, and then we'll see.
Oh yeah.
Where you guys want to be.
So kind of you.
Right.
Really cheer us up.
We're going to ticket to Dallas. We're going to go and give this guy a good kick.
Really cheer us up. Mark, are you still coaching now? Are you coaching in America?
I am, yeah. I work for a soccer club here in Dallas, Sting Soccer Club, and we have, over 200 teams. I work on the boys' side, and I coach the U19s, the seniors, so they're the head of high school going into college, and I have some of the younger teams as well. So it's good. Club soccer is a little bit different here. It's a business as well.
Club what? Sorry.
To play.
Club
football. Sorry, I'm talking to the wrong audience here, right?
Yeah, if you say it again, Mark, it's an instant $10 fine.
Yeah.
Leslie Thomas just says you've not lost your Brummie accent. I'm pleased to say, my fellow reception worker.
Yeah. So that was one thing I missed out. I did work on reception at St Andrews for about 5 years when I first left school. So we had a good time there as well. And that was under when Karen and the Gold Brothers and Sullivan were there, and whatever everyone says, I think that was the best years for us. Definitely. And it's a shame, that it happened where it did happen. But I wish that we could not rewind. I want to be here, obviously in the time that we are now. But I just wish we had something more stable at the club.
Mark, I'm going to have to stop you. Me and Chris Browne and Alan Watton wish we could rewind. Believe me.
Yeah.
Me too, yeah.
I just want stability and excitement and fun for the fans, because we've all been brought up with Birmingham City, and the fact is, wherever we are in the world, that will never change. We our blood runs blue, and we just want to have. I can switch the TV off at any point if I really want to, but in my heart, I can't do that. I have to sit and watch the whole 90 minutes, regardless of what the score is. Yeah. And I think that's just something that you're brought up to do, and will always do.
Does your wife football with you?
She does occasionally. It's American football household, so I have to fight with the egg chasing. But
American what?
It's American football household. It's one of those egg.
They don't use feet. They use their hands.
Yeah. They throw them eggs around
with an egg. Right?
Yeah.
That ain't football. Sorry.
It's rugby. It's rugby with pads on, basically.
Yeah.
Pete Taylor said, Mark, if you say soccer once more, you'll be forced to eat 10 Twinkies.
I like
what?
He says you're going to eat 10 Twinkies if you say soccer once more.
Well, what's a Twinkie?
Is it like a honeycomb thing, is it?
It's like a Swiss roll.
Like a Swiss roll, yeah.
Swiss roll, yeah.
Oh, that's
10 Jacobs cream crackers, no butter. That's it, mate. You say soccer once more. 10 Jacobs cream crackers, no butter. Live on
the S word's worse than the A word, right?
So
Mark, where did you watch the World Cup?
There's actually an English bar here, the Londoner, which is about 30 minutes from the house. So we get together with a lot of the other English guys that we know, and we all go.
Are we talking 30 minutes drive or 30 minutes walk?
You don't walk anywhere in America.
No.
Yeah, you have to drive or obviously Uber or whatever else. But yeah, we try to get together for all the games, and again, as a Birmingham City fan, that always ends in depression as well every tournament. So it's just football hurts, right?
It does, yeah. Mark, there's a lot of rich people in Dallas.
I'm not one of them.
No, but you know where I'm going with this, don't you? There must be somebody. Oh, yeah. There must be somebody over there you can rope into by us.
I'm trying. When I mention Birmingham, they run.
Yeah. Can you just try a little bit harder? There's got to be somebody, please, Lord.
It's got to be a real life JR.
Who was that team we played in? I think Jeff Cup a few years ago. And we were ripping that goalkeeper to death.
Oh, Blythe.
Blythe Spartans, yeah.
It's all your fault.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh, that was terrible. That was.
You must have connections to rich people over there. They've got oil and everything.
They've got oil and everything.
Put the pressure on.
They've got oil and everything over there.
Mark, I was in a few years ago now. I was in Chicago at a comedy club, and the guy, who was a black guy, very funny, said, "Is anybody here from overseas?" And I went, "Yeah, mate."
Never volunteer, Alan. Never.
But he said, "Where are you from?" And I said, "Birmingham." This black guy went pale. He did. He went, "What?" Because he thought I meant Birmingham, Alabama. Now, if you come from there, you know, you're a redneck or whatever.
Yeah, you're not.
And I actually went to speak to him afterwards and explained to him that there was another Birmingham on the planet. In fact, there's probably about 10 in America, but anyway. And he literally went pale when I said, "I'm from Birmingham," and he just couldn't. He didn't know what to say. So you've got to make it clear. It's the first one, not the last one.
Alan, you should have just said, "I'm Alan Watton from Birmingham."
It's a long time ago. I wasn't as famous then.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah.
I'm Alan Watson, chairman of the board from Birmingham.
Tilton Talk Show, you
Who
know.
fell over this morning and cut his pinky finger?
I'm Alan Watton on Tilton Talk Show, you know. That one
Trying
with
to
the
think
drunk
when
on
it
it.
was.
Hey, the Tilton Talk Show's going global now. That's what it is, you know. We might get millions from this. Who knows?
Right, but Mark, the thing is, right.
Well, we can run the club, right? The six of us can run the club. We just need the money.
Easily. I'll run the bars, right?
Just a couple of $1 billion short. That's all.
Yeah, that's it.
What? Just because I run the bar?
We'll give you a month to make that amount of sales, Nick. So, yeah, we can do this.
We've got a little bit of a change of subject and just on one of the comments that's come into the board, and also there's a couple of other areas I want to cover off at the moment. Negativity around our fans for a start off. I mean, I've seen the videos on various social media platforms. Art Gunfunkle, there's a new one. So we've got various media platforms showing videos of fans taking apart the inside of stands at a football. It's a disgrace. You're not a fan, you're a thug. Stay away.
Morons.
Go to the back of back into the stadium itself, and we have one of our disabled supporters hit with a smoke bomb. Now, Nick, I know that they are your worst thing in life, and what gets me is there's two things. How the hell do they get them in the ground when you're supposed to be searched going through those gates?
It's pretty easy.
And secondly, it's hit one of our fans. It's caused distress, but people still think it's okay to abuse people because of it. And to see comments around not going to football.
Despicable act to throw a smoke bomb, which I hate with an absolute passion, at a disabled supporter.
I don't think it wasn't intentional.
Hang on.
It wasn't intentional.
Sorry,
but they shouldn't have thrown them anyway.
The absolute reason that they get these in the first place is because this is your search. All right, off you go.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no, I totally agree. I
think it wasn't obviously aimed at the fan. It was aimed to get on the pitch, but it should never have been thrown in the first place.
You shouldn't.
But what if it hits a player in the eye? Yeah. Any player, ours or theirs. What if it hits a player in the eye and their career is finished because of the act?
Or anybody.
It's the stupidity afterwards, though. It didn't just stop at that. To see some of the comments around, well, people shouldn't be at the game. People shouldn't go to football.
Yeah.
Why should, why
it's
should
expected.
he be in the
It's
news?
expected. I know.
It's ultimate in total ignorance. And, the club, I know, are aware of these different things and will try and get on top of it. But it's just not needed. It needs to stay away.
Hey, the club cannot be blamed for this.
No,
this is the security teams at the gates who should not be funny. It's like, off you go, right? Yeah, and that's here. I'm a chest. Off you go.
I'll be honest.
I've got 36 pockets in my gilet, right? And I could have anything in any of them, right? Nick, and they go, off you go.
Mark Hoadley, I didn't even get searched entering Ashton Gate.
No, really?
Right. I was just about to say, the last two home games at Blues, I've just walked in. I haven't been searched at all.
Yeah. Another thing is,
and yet, Mark, they're asking you to get there early so they can.
Yeah.
Money.
Security and that, like.
Money. Not safety, money, safety.
Yeah.
Money.
Another thing is, people think these flares are these great big huge things from the 1970s. They're about that big now.
No, Chris, they're tiny.
I know.
They're absolutely tiny. They're about that big and that round.
And you know you know exactly where you can hide them, don't you? Exactly.
And not anywhere I'd want to look.
No. Who wants to search that bit?
Cover off a couple of other points.
Chris Browne, question. Chris Browne.
I've got no
Have
money.
you ever thrown a smoke bomb at St Andrews?
Never.
Craig Courtney, have you ever thrown a smoke bomb at St Andrews?
I don't think I've ever held a smoke bomb.
Have you ever thrown a smoke bomb at St Andrews?
No.
Alan, have you ever thrown a smoke bomb at St Andrews?
The only thing I've ever thrown at St Andrews is a wobbler. Every week.
And a tantrum.
Tantrum, yeah.
And I have never, ever, and I would never even buy one of those things. I think they're vile. They stink. They're disgusting, and they're destructive to the game of football.
Ray Hobro just says, Bristol Saturday, it said that if you had a flare, pyrotechnics, you will be arrested, yet 2 were thrown.
Yeah. And, Steve Portman, can anyone who thinks the disabled supporter shouldn't attend matches come and spend the day with me? Totally agree.
My disabled friends, Craig, are some of the most beautiful people at that football club. They are wonderful. Steve Portman gave me a lift home back from Wigan when I was going to have to sleep on a bench. Auntie Linda, who does so much for the footballing community and the disabled community, came and seen me yesterday as a surprise with little Jack. They're beautiful, wonderful people. And, many of them came to our wedding downstairs. Like, come on. Like, I could literally, I promise you, I could literally apply for a disabled badge because of the way my spine is, my legs and everything else. But I'm fighting it still, right? But I know that one day, that's where I'll be. I know that, right? And then when I am, you know what? I embrace what I still got. As long as my wheelchair's blue, I couldn't give it.
And can I just add as well, clarity for absolutely everybody out here, and I promise I'll get off my high horse once this is done. But we, as a fans forum and group, get nothing from the club.
That's true.
We get absolutely nothing. There have been comments passed again across multiple channels that supporters groups don't get involved with things like protests or marches because they're getting freebies from the club and perks in the area.
Craig, we've never had so much as a bulge. We've never had so much as a bulgy pole.
Not one freebie has ever passed into our hands.
No,
not
nothing.
one, not ever.
Nothing,
and I don't
nothing.
want that, and I would never do this show if that was the case. I promise you.
Craig, we've had shirts donated for charities.
Yeah, but they're for charity,
and
Chris.
that's all we have.
So does that mean I'm not getting paid today?
Exactly. Yeah.
It's not for me. It's not for any members of our team that are on here. Right? We've had things donated so that we can make somebody else's life a little bit easier, a little bit better. 1, 2, 3. We have never, and I have never been paid 1 pence for doing this in 11 years, right? I have had 1 piece of toast and 4 wasabi peas at Chris Brown's house.
That's
right. It.
Yeah.
In 11 years. I won a big scratch off his cat when we first started it. But this wouldn't be what it was if we were paid for it. And I don't want to get paid for doing this. I do not want anything. Nothing.
Craig, I've got to be honest, Craig. I don't really know of any group that's been given free stuff. Free, maybe from sponsors. They've had the odd shirt and the odd ticket, but
hang on. If they meet us on a Monday, they might get some dry pucker pies.
We've never had a single ticket ever from the
But
club.
I think this is the key thing, right? As fans, we are all hurting as much as everybody else. But how we as fans decide we then want to vent that doesn't have to be the same as everybody else. And, as a show, as a fan myself, am I against protests? No, because everybody has a right to protest.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Am I against, the things that are going on at their club? Do I really love the board? No, because of what's happening to my club.
Absolutely.
And happening there. Yeah. But I really do wish that people would stop listening to rumours, to scaremongering and to total and utter rubbish that causes more friction between fans than it does help. And we've got to come together as fans, ultimately, to get new owners, to get these people out the door. We don't get that if we start arguing with each other and going against each other. The most powerful thing in the world is a
unity.
Together, unity.
Can I also say something about protesting? You know, people are going on at protesting. It takes one person to protest. If you want to protest. It takes one person to run on the pitch naked with a bucket and a flag. Do it.
Female.
Do it.
Female.
Stop trying to get your gang.
Can I just ask a question? There was a very serious incident yesterday at the
Arsenal game. Yeah.
Oh,
now, we have had similar incidents in our over the years, and we've been punished quite rightly, heavily, with the hope that
as was the individual, Alan.
Yeah, but
quite rightly.
Quite rightly.
Yeah.
But the idea is to deter people from doing it again. Now, I'll guarantee you that bloke that kicked the goalkeeper does not get punished like the idiot that hit Grealish, like the idiot that came on and did that to Enkelman.
And that was funny, though.
Well, it was funny, but the bloke ended up in prison.
He's passed away now, hasn't he?
Passed away, yeah. Yeah.
That's very, very sad.
God.
If the authorities don't punish that guy severely, then it's a signal to all these nutters, and we ain't the only people that have got them, to say, oh, well, he only got a 50 quid fine. You know, I'm going to kick the next visitor's goalkeeper because it'd be worth it.
Yeah.
You know
just
what I mean?
a general one. Just sorry, Alan, to put in, but have they actually caught that lad yet?
He was clear.
They
recorded it. I mean,
yeah. They will get it. You'll get a knock at the door.
no problem at all.
They get a lifetime ban, don't they?
Sky, well, a lifetime ban means nothing.
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
I said he'll get a lifetime ban.
Hang on. Are we having a meltdown?
Has somebody got Google on? Google.
Oh, that's
Google
good.
Translate.
Google and Siri start talking back to me.
Mark, is that your wife?
You wanted to know where I was. I was like, get her. I'm talking to my friend.
That's funny, that one.
Mark,
That was
changing the
funny.
subject just slightly.
Oh, dear. I'll have to keep that in.
What you're wearing, for me personally, and I don't speak for everybody, just speak for me, is the worst shirt
It is, yeah.
in football in the world ever.
But it's a classic.
It's iconic, isn't it?
It is iconic, isn't it?
It's a very, very iconic. And I've got to say, Mark, I want to know where you got it from, because actually, the more I look at it, the more I realise I do want it again.
I've got one if you want one.
This was one from the club shop. Wait, they brought it back out, but a few years ago. Because it doesn't have the sponsor on this side, the influence sponsor.
Oh, the influence, yeah.
But yeah, you can pick them up. I've seen copies of the original one with the influence on that you can pick up from off the internet. But I don't. It's so rare to get the original now.
Mark, was the sponsor Triton?
Triton Showers.
Triton Showers, yeah. Triton
This.
Showers, yeah.
Have the influence on
The
here.
very first time that shirt appeared on the pitch, right? I was in the back of the cop with my hair on and my son on my shoulders, 3 years old, right? And that shirt comes out, and the whole of Birmingham City Football Club was singing, I would rather have a shower than a bath. I would rather have a shower than a bath. And that, for me, epitomises Birmingham City. We love our comedy. We can take the rip out of anything, and you know, it's just great, brilliant.
Mark Meredith, can I ask you a question about if I mean, I've been to sporting events in America, quite a few of them. Now, if that kind of incident where somebody was attacked, a player was attacked by somebody in the crowd, what would be the outcome of that?
Great question.
Great
question.
Yeah.
Probably
It'd certainly be a prison sentence, I think. You know, and you just don't know what it would be in the stadium as well. You know, there's a lot of, and I hate to say it, but there's a lot of, you know, gun crime and things like that. And and things like this. So you don't really know what would happen within the stadium, but I think there would certainly be a lifetime ban and a prison sentence for the person.
Yeah,
and I think that should be the same in England. I think that should be the same for.
It is the same here, Mark. It is the same here because the guy that did it at our place. Now I don't like Greasy Grealish, but I have no inclination to run onto a football pitch and punch him in the back of the head. That could have finished his career, right? Yeah. And then he went and scored against us. Writing was on the wall, weren't it? Of course, of course. Yeah. And
but he'll get. What gets me is I watched it on the TV and you see him running up the stairway and nobody stops him at all. There's two stewards stand there. Obviously the fans have opened up, which is probably normal with the fans. But he runs up the stairs and there's not really anybody that stops him. And then they say, "All right, if we find him, he's going to get a lifetime ban." But
he could have had a knife.
A buddy sent me a joke yesterday. He said that 5,000 Spurs fans went forward after they knew they were going to get a lifetime ban, so they're still not sure which one's going to do it.
Do you know, in all seriousness, they say a lifetime ban, right? But there's only one way to stop a lifetime ban, and that's by having a fingerprint machine that's on the gate to let you in as your season ticket. Yeah. Because any other way, your photo doesn't matter. You never.
Yeah, either that or just hang the perpetrator.
And how does that stop you going? Again, it's a question, but how does that stop you going to away games then? If I'm banned at St Andrews for life. Yeah. I'm still going to go to every away game and probably cause the same.
Right. I've worked in nightclubs. I've worked in nightclubs for 40 odd years. Yeah. And we had something called facial recognition. And you, Mark, you're trying to walk into a football club and it will take your photograph and scan it and say, you know what, this guy's not allowed. Boom, off you go.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. It's a bit like ANPR. No, when ANPR came out originally, I actually worked on the development of that system. Sorry, guys.
Yeah. That's right. No,
I think that's right. I think if you're going to ban somebody, then they need to be banned from every stadium.
It doesn't work. I've known personally over the years there are people that were banned, and they still go.
Yeah,
there's ways around it. Yeah,
they still go.
Because you get these people then jumping on a plane and going to an England game away or American game away or whatever else, and spending a week in another country following their team when they're actually banned at home watching their teams. But I just don't know how you stop that.
How you stop it is like this, right? We've all got biometric passports now, yeah?
Yeah.
You turn up at the airport and there's a sporting event on in Birmingham, Alabama, right? And you turn up at the airport to get your flight. Sorry, you're not going, Sunshine. Off you go. Ta-ra. Don't even bother thinking about leaving the country.
I think they do that though. Where those people that are known for thuggery and stuff they do have to go to the police station, don't they? Local police stations, and hand in their passports as we get closer.
Our local ice cream man does it. Our local ice cream man does it to the kids right there because they've asked for too many 99s.
On a list.
Got to show his passport to buy an ice cream.
That's for a 69. Sorry.
Again, did I read recently at a basketball game that the players attacked the crowd? Was that? There was people offering, come and have some. So the players went, all right, you want some, and they went in and sorted these blokes out.
I didn't read that, but it doesn't surprise me. But that happened at Spurs a couple of years ago, didn't it, with Eric Dyer? If you remember, someone said something to Dyer's brother, and he went in the stand and
just jumped in.
Eric Cantona.
Cantona as well, yeah.
Alberto Tarantini.
Yeah.
If it's been done, we probably did it first.
Exactly. What a memory.
We've been talking about tops, and then there's been a few questions around what's your favourite ever Blues kit. To put some out there, there's quite a few for the Penguin shirts.
Original Penguin was good.
The shirt
I hate
that
the
I'm wearing,
Penguin shirt.
what somebody has said.
The phone's for you the first year in the Prem.
I've got to put out there that one of my favourite shirts in current time is the shirt for this weekend. Nice little segue into it. The limited edition Arthur shirt, I think, is absolutely gorgeous.
It looks a decent shirt.
Yeah,
sold out by halfway through the day as well, which just shows. I know there wasn't lots, but what fantastic support and a great sum of money that will be raised for the NSPCC coming in this weekend.
Definitely, yeah.
And also another one for me was the shirt where all the supporters' names are on them.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I'm mad. I could kick myself. Oh, because I didn't do it.
I quite like the shirt. Going back to Tarantini, that era as well. That was a nice shirt. Yeah. And the late '60s shirt, which was basically a bit Chelsea-ish. That was a good shirt as well.
Oh yeah, it was a little.
Alan will remember that one. Yeah.
Nathan Hughes' favourite shirt was the black one with the pink badge. Stephen Gell.
My son loves that shirt.
Blue Triton Showers shirts. Yes, remember that one well.
Yeah.
Lilypad's asked, Nick, if Razor Ruddock was to pile the money into the club, what would you be with response?
He's gone to the toilet.
Oh, he's run away.
Yeah.
His response, he's got a toilet.
Oh, I don't know.
Top professional. He used to be a DJ in it.
Yeah. I know. You should get a booking.
He was a bouncer at clubs, weren't he, as well? That's what I heard.
He slipped a few discs.
Trevor Francis, Adidas blue, home and yellow. Adidas away, says Ray Hubro.
I was just about to say, what's the best away top?
I like the white Mark one we had, and it had like a yellow
and blue block.
Yeah. What's that? That 90? That was 91, was it?
92?
91, 92.
91, 92. So I think it might have been the same season we won the Leyland after, and there 90, 91, something like that.
Yeah, that was great. That was a good shirt. Yeah. Steve's gone for the 150th anniversary shirt. Nick can put his name as one of the founders of the club. So,
Mark, you slipped
that for Auntie Linda.
You slipped into your Texan accent there, 1991.
No, didn't I? You got to press mute.
Nick, now you've
right, sorry, guys. I had to run to Lewis. We'll sit for a week.
So are we going to
raise the rudder? I heard raise the rudder because I was going to the door. And I want this. No, well, the question that's been asked is if Neil Razor Rourke was to pile all the money that was needed to buy the club, what would be your response? I'll buy me a drink.
Would you speak to him, no, Nick? Would you speak to him?
Of course I would. And I would tell him that me and Chris Browne are those two northern that you never want to have your photograph taken with. Chris, was that true or wasn't it true?
It's true, yeah.
I won't publish the video that I've
Razor
got.
Ruddock and Hannibal. They're the two new owners. Put Mark Adams on the thing.
I like your style, Mark. You got classmate most of it second.
I'd shake his hand. Say, well done. You've done well.
Yeah.
The Belgian flag.
I'd shake his hand and ask him what he's done.
Yeah.
I like Tatey's limited edition cup final shirt, says Don Kavanagh.
Yes, everybody loves that shirt, and it's framed and hanging up on his wall as well. Why not?
Superb.
Yeah.
That's it.
There's a few others that are talking about the green shirt that we released, which was the NHS.
Yeah, that's good.
Shirt.
I think that was a brilliant idea.
I think it was a decent shirt as well. Yeah, I quite like that one.
We had all the pink
ones.
Weren't
we the only club to do it?
Yeah.
Yes, I was right, Mark. Yeah.
When we I remember beating Millwall away by 6 when Marlon got a hat trick, and it was wearing that pink shirt then.
Yeah.
The red and white penguin shirt.
Oh yeah.
No.
Yeah.
The red and white penguin away shirt.
Dave Twine has said that Chris and Nick are the Anton Deck of the Blues. Well, you could be going in there as the true fans and buying them. Why not?
I thought the Chuckle Brothers more than anything, but
I thought Statler and Waldorf.
I'm too far away for you to come and get me, so I can say what I want over here.
Right? You ready, Chris Browne? To me.
To you.
To me.
To you.
To me.
To you. Who's Rachel?
Oh, it's one of the best comedy moments of the show in 11 years. I promise you, that was just brilliant. I've almost wet myself a little waiting for the last 15 minutes.
More positive as well from the weekend. 3 fantastic points for the Blues women.
Absolutely.
Great result up at Sheffield, and that promotion push continues. You know, the 4 points off the top of the table now, with games in hand over the team above us. You know, we're really in a great position, and Darren has really got on firing at the moment. And of course, writing was on the wall, wasn't it? Our true Blue Nose coming back to the club and scoring the winner at the weekend. Absolutely brilliant.
And Darren Carter, friend of the show.
Yeah.
Darren Carter, friend of the show. And I'll repeat again, to get behind that team, it's get people down at St Andrews to get behind the ladies.
The only problem with
we get, the better position.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, the people in the top, the teams in the top flight have all got money now, haven't they?
Yeah,
it is. Look,
I'd
haven't love to go and support the Lace, but like 60 miles away on a Sunday, the only day I get off as well. It's difficult.
There was a big crowd as well Saturday. Was the for the North London Derby, wasn't there? What was it? 48,000.
I wish they'd put them on Blues TV. We got Blue TV I wish they would put the games on there as well, because it's something that you definitely would like to watch. But I don't get access to any of. I get access to the
right. Stop,
USL,
Mr. Fixer. Can you get onto the club, please, and get Blues ladies on Blues TV, even if it's only like a quid or £2 a game? The
question has already been asked, Nick, because there's numerous people that have all said, when we were in the Women's Super League, even performing poorly, they were still able to see the game via the FA player.
Also, that Craig,
doesn't occur for the Championship, apart from one select game.
There's people like Mark all over the world, right, who would do anything to watch a Birmingham City game. Men, women, children, doesn't matter what, right? They would do anything to watch a Birmingham City game. Let's make a real push, a Tilton Talk push on the club.
Also, Craig, can you ask him if we can have some freebies?
What do you say, Chris?
Can you ask them if we can have some freebies as well?
Only a few freebies, though. Is that just for me,
No. Just going back to the top flight games, I mean, there was 48,000 for the North London Derby. Yet for the North...
That Arsenal Tottenham?
Yeah, but for the North West Derby, Man United versus Liverpool, there was 1,700. Is it which was the biggest novelty? It's not good. That's not good, is it, really?
Well, Liverpool got beat 6-0. That
6-0, 6-0 by Man United, yeah. But 1,700 of that game.
Yeah.
I also thought. I think I read that Arsenal do, and I think it's a great idea. But they do those, the community schemes where they offer tickets to the local schools and local football.
Hey, he corrected himself.
Football clubs. So I think again, I know Blues are at the stage where we don't have the money to give to the ladies team and stuff like that. But why not give tickets like that to the local schools and the local teams and get 30,000 fans on a Sunday or whatever it's going to be, because the kids have finished their own Sunday league games and then the afternoon they go down and support the girls. I just think it's a perfect way of getting the support in, a bit like Kids for a Quid that we've had at the men's games, and do something like that just to try to get that support. I worked in women's football in England and here, and
was that before you had a beard?
Sorry,
was that before you had a beard?
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
tumbleweed.
But it's always been tough to get that support, especially in England, and I know it's getting better now, obviously after the Euros and stuff, and we keep they keep fighting to get it. But I just think those little things at this stage would be perfect. And I think it shows at Arsenal when you get 46,000, 48,000 that it does work.
Yeah.
Stephen Gill's just clarified the issue regarding Blues TV. He said it's actually a contract issue with the FA and the FA player, and that's why the clubs are not allowed to broadcast their games using their own television streams. So it's actually an FA contract.
Craig, I hate this world sometimes, because what an opportunity to promote the women's game, like through like Blue TV, yeah. And you turn up for a game at St Andrews, and you can get in for £1 or something like that. I know they've done these kind of things, but this is Blues TV, Birmingham City TV, and yet we're not allowed to show our. Is that discriminatory? I wonder.
No, it's there's not enough money to be made. It's all down to money, I'm afraid, Nick. All down to money.
Yeah, I honestly think after the Lionesses, I think they thought it'd be packed out every week, and it's just not.
It's not. No.
I think they thought there'd be thousands piling to the gates, but.
No,
and down the country,
it never ever will, I'm afraid. It'll just be the novelty games, the one-off games that will attract the crowds. It never will.
That's sad, though, isn't it? Sad.
We can't fill the men's games.
Yeah.
It's 2:45, ladies and gentlemen, and this means. Well, it's the last 15 minutes of the Tilton Talk Show, and we want to associate any word that you can think of with a footballer or football. And there are children watching. And a pharmacy or a chemist, anything to do with the pharmacy. Oh, God, you mad lot, off you go.
And whilst
I haven't got access. Sorry, Craig. I haven't got access to the shout box, so can somebody else monitor?
Oh, thank God for that. You won't be able to see the stuff I'm putting up about you.
Whilst we're waiting for the first ones to come through, right, we'll talk about getting down the Blues to support the ladies. So they have 2 upcoming games where they need our support. One of them, this very Sunday coming, 2:00 kick-off at St Andrews. Tickets, £8 for an adult.
Yeah.
Kids, £1.
Quid.
So, Mark, I agree. We can give we should be giving tickets away and getting people down there, especially those grassroots girls teams that want to see how things progress. That £8 for an adult, under 13's £1, under 18's £6. Then at the end of next month, or actually Sunday the 12th to be precise, we've got a massive game against London Lionesses, who are above us in the league. We want to get the points from them as well. Loads of availability in the stadium, exactly the same prices. So come on, let's get a few people down there. Let's back these ladies. Let's back Darren and the team.
I'll get it, Craig, and I'd love to, but think of this from my personal point of view, right? I'm miles away from the football stadium, so it's going to cost me £40 in petrol. £48 for my ticket, £56 for Shannon's ticket. Yeah. Food. That street food is disgusting inside St Andrews. £10. Oh, mate. So it's like 56, 66, 76. A couple of beers, £356. You know what I mean?
A few of them started coming through, Nick. So first one, Michael Woods. It's Firstino, Aspirin, Adela.
Hey.
Michael Woods has also come up with, and he's jumped in before anybody else, but did he had a bowl of cough syrup?
Is he? I'm not being funny, but is he a chemist?
Got Jason Hughes.
That is absolutely insane.
Sorry, someone's moving bucket.
Buska Pandiani. Pete Taylor. Anasol Campbell.
Well, I was right. I bought Sharon some Anasol for Christmas, and you probably have seen it.
Yeah. I bet she was chuffed with that.
So, you know what?
As long as it works.
Craig, tell you what, Chris.
Ungrateful.
I bought her mop buckets, mops, mop slippers, you name it. Right, and she threw it on the table, and she went, and she swore, if you think I'm having my photograph with that in my hand, it was like living. It was brilliant. What a lovely moment.
I could see.
I managed to get the photograph and put it there, and I wrote on a Facebook page, I thought I'd ask for ice cream. But I know this Christmas is going to be piles better than anything you've ever had.
Dom Kavanagh has said Tour Andre flu jab.
What about Jerry Pill?
What was that, Lamar?
Jerry Pill.
Yeah. Didn't have to think much with that one, really, did you?
If I was you, I'd take that robe up and burn it in the garden.
I quite like this one from Ray Hubro. Ibuprofen Martins.
Oh, no. Right.
Lee Camp, a Calpol.
We're all behind.
Stephen says, get down and support the girls. We can do it. Stephen Gill. Dickov.
What about, can I have Christoph Druggery?
Christoph Druggery, yeah.
Let's go for Boots.
Check Enema and Doy.
Check Enema.
Check Enema and Doy.
What about Anadin Zidane?
That's absolutely terrible, Mark. But actually, you've got to laugh at it.
It's so bad. It's so
Mark,
bad.
I'm going to send you £1 through the post.
Lee, I do get paid.
Yeah. He hasn't said what of yet.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Oh, Jason Hughes. That's very clever indeed.
Isn't it?
Mark Foul COVID test.
Falco. Oh, very clever.
Very clever that one is.
God. I don't care.
It's actually too clever to laugh at.
It
man,
is.
so please,
I don't care what you say about him. He is clever. Mark Veruca Cream.
Who?
Mark Veruca Cream.
Viduka.
Yeah. Okay.
Zico.
All that attempts to unadulterated humour there, I'm afraid. Sorry.
Well, can I have? I'll have Ricky Otto and just leave it like that because he was full of drugs as well.
Whoa! No, Pastor Otto now. He's redeemed himself. He's Pastor since.
I did say the word was.
Somebody called Paul Hipkiss says a paracetamol B.
Was that on, Chris?
Paracetamol B. Molby. Paracetamol.
Yeah, Molby.
Yeah, Molby. Yeah.
Paracetamol.
Molby.
Right.
Liverpool player.
A quarter out of 10 for that one.
Codeine Holdsworth from Jason Hughes.
Yeah, very good. Very good.
Yeah.
Nappy Pandiani. Plaster Otto. As in pasta. Pasta. Very clever.
Thank you for redeeming Plaster Otto for me.
Very clever. Diego Methodona.
Really?
Where did they get them from? Tony Pull-Ups. Tony Pull-Ups. Pull-Ups, yeah. Kid, little babies.
Yes, instead of fearless.
Those of you who've had kids, you'll know what they are. Pull-Ups.
Yeah.
Look at him.
And those of you that haven't had kids will be thinking of Johnny Barnes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, a pill Shankly.
That actually could be the winner.
Yeah. Drug Ellis.
Drug Ellis.
That's a good one.
Who was it, Chris? Who was it?
Is Ray Habro?
I think Pete Taylor may actually win this
That's
one.
a
That
good
one's
one.
absolutely brilliant.
It is a good one.
What is it?
It's Jose Condom Minguez.
I'll wet myself, I promise you.
Messi Methadone. Paul Lemkis. Lemsipkis. Paul Lemsipkis. Very clever. Paul Lemkis says, good to see our friend from Dallas.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Nigel Mann says, Steve Bruce. Uriah Rennie. Gordon Durex.
I only do one, boys, and this is it.
Oh, here we go. Oh, hang on. Let me get the popcorn.
Maxine colonoscopy.
It sounded funnier
Right,
than
Alan,
it really was, actually.
My chemist asked me to come into the chemist and perform a colonoscopy on me in a chemist in the high street. Like, I'm like, what? Jesus.
I'll be quite welcome, actually.
When you go to the hospital, tell them, where do you think they get the bits and pieces? From the chemist.
Exactly.
The chemist, yeah. The enema and all that, yeah.
Big tube.
Not the same gloves, are they?
Gary Tablet. I'm going Gary Tablet.
Gary Tablet. What about the advert? Remember the advert for Night Nurse?
No.
Night Nurse.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Wasn't that a porn movie?
You're definitely
Night Nurse.
scraping the barrel, Mr.
I
Adams.
thought that's quite good.
I thought it was a porn movie. I did.
Yeah, you may have thought it was quite good, but you come from Coventry.
Yeah.
Bloody don't come from Harboard.
These people from Coventry on our show. Jonathan Wet Lube Lecco. Can I say that one?
Any more?
Lube Bellingham.
Oh, God.
Harley Germaloneline. Harley Germaline. Yeah. Diorite Johnson.
All right, can we not talk about that?
No, yeah. Trusty the Pharmacies.
What?
I think people. What's happened now? People have just started to string words together now. Any old words.
Well, I'll go to work tomorrow. I promise you, I'm going to take my iPad and I'm going to listen to what you just said over and over and over again. So I get any kind of a semblance of what you've just said.
No, yeah. It'll probably sound funny then.
Oh, Andy, I've got to add in there. Andy Sutherland.
Yeah.
What's it going for? Sorry,
Andy
Sutherland.
Andy
I
Savile.
like that one, Savlon. Yeah.
Very, very clever. I think we ought to have predictions quickly, haven't we, for tomorrow?
Right, Forest Green Rovers away tomorrow. This is the ultimate banana skin. This could be a defining moment in Birmingham City's history, like Kidderminster was like. And I think if you were stood on them terraces with me at Kidderminster, I just sat down and cried. I promise you. Crying out. We've just been beaten by Kidderminster Harriers. Was you there, Chris?
Yeah.
Was you there, Alan?
I certainly was.
I won't ask anybody else that far too young.
Yeah.
No, I was
Whoa!
I was there and I stayed and I applauded Kidderminster off the pitch because they deserved it on the day.
They did deserve it, yeah. They did deserve it. But, like, I mean, the stick I got for months after that. Well, I'm sure you did. I'm sure Chris did. I'm sure Alan did. I'm sure every Birmingham City fan did. This, please, cannot be another situation like that tomorrow.
No.
Okay. Mark, predictions.
I think we'll make 4 or 5 changes and we'll scrape through 2-1.
I hate them words.
Oh, no.
Alan. Oh, God, Alan, forget it.
1-0.
Don't say it.
Sorry,
1-0.
Alan, don't bother.
1-0.
Sorry, it all for me.
1-0. I can't see us scoring any more than that.
What are you saying, 1-0?
1-0.
Right. Chris Browne?
I'm going to go... Yeah. Oh, God, it's one of them, isn't it? No, I'm going to be positive. I'm going to go for a 3-1 Blues.
Okay. Craig Courtney.
2-0 Blues.
Huh?
2-0 Blues. Let's be positive.
I'm going with Auntie Linda. I'm going to go 6-0 Blues and Chris in the book next week.
And if that's the case, we'll all need the pharmacy to cover our eyes.
Yeah.
Mark Meredith over there in Dallas.
I'm going for the draw 1-1 replay at St Andrews.
There's no replays, Mark.
No
There
replays?
is in this round, though, isn't there? There is in this round.
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
Oh, is that? Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, replays in this round, Mark.
Mark knows
So
nothing. He knows nothing.
We'll have another reason not to put a team
And then we'll lose 7-0 at home.
Oh, by the way, my 1-0 was after extra time.
Ladies and gents, girls and boys, don't you just love Birmingham City football? And we come on here every Monday night, and you know what? We like to talk about the games. But the best thing that we have is this little comedy thing we have. And Birmingham City fans are the best at it. They are brilliant. Got to say a very happy birthday to Lilypad. Lilypad.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. I've been practicing this all day. Lilypad.
Where's his mute button?
Happy birthday, Lilypad.
And Nick needs some throat sweets.
What did he say?
He needs a noose.
What did he say?
Oh, we're not saying you'll have to look at it. You'll have to listen to it when you listen back tomorrow.
I'll listen in my sleep.
Oh, and it's Lindsay's birthday tomorrow. Apparently, it's 40.
Who?
She's 40. Lindsay.
tomorrow,
She's
yeah,
40.
Lindsay, yeah.
She's 40.
Lindsay. Absolutely lovely, lovely, lovely person. I think everybody, Lindsay, in Birmingham City just loves you. We all love you.
Yeah. Is she only 40? She looks a lot older than that.
I thought she was older than Linda.
Yeah, crikey.
No, Linda makes her look younger.
No, hang on. I'm sorry.
I don't know which one of us is in more trouble there.
I was sat with Linda yesterday. No. Linda's the oldest of all of us.
Oh,
Linda is the oldest of every Birmingham City that has ever walked this earth.
Yeah, she's quite old, isn't she?
Okay, so go to this Mark Meredith.
We all remember Paul Hipkiss, Nick, just before we disappear.
I beg your pardon?
Paul Hipkiss has come in one just before we disappear, which is Femidom Calvert-Lewin.
Well done, Paul.
Well done. Nick Mann wants to know, is Nick having a stroke?
Paul, you proper lowered the tone, but I appreciate you.
Lily says she's just a baby. She's just a baby.
Okay. So was Moses once.
Anyway,
Tony Cotton Buds. Can we have Tony Cotton Buds?
Hey!
it's now time to say good
This
night.
has been a great day, guys. Listen, we'll be back here next Monday night, 6:30 through till 8. Let's just hope that I will make an appearance, because the banana skin is there. It's there tomorrow. Eek. Yeah, it scares me. That kind of stuff scares me. Like Stevenage the other week, and I know we was like all taking the rip, but like this is our club, our Birmingham City. There is a man in America, Mark Meredith. Thank you very much for being with us tonight.
Thanks, guys, and hopefully next Monday when I listen, there will be 2 wins.
Definitely.
Love the positivity.
Any chance you could come back next Monday, Mark? So I could skate the cack out of you.
I'm ready.
Hey!
I'll just stay on.
Yeah.
Just barricade yourself for a week.
That's what Nick does, because he doesn't know how to switch your computer off, so he just leaves it on, waits for us to come in next week.
Switch it on. What have I got to do? It's only by luck that this happened. Right, ladies and gents, girls and boys, thanks ever so much for being with us on Tilton Talk Show. Wow, second show of 2023. We'll do many more, as long as we're all still here. And if we're not, you'll do, I don't know, like a memorial one for me and Chris and Alan.
I'm going to cry.
Oh, guys, it's, well...
I fell over today and still survived.
He's still going on about it. He's still going on about it.
Can we just see your injury again, Alan?
Yeah, please, go on. He's looking for the sympathy vote now. Yeah. I
thought he was swearing then.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, no.
It's unreal.
You need to go to hospital with that.
I'm saving the National Health Service. Stopping at home.
Right. Okay, what we're going to do is we'll catch up with Alan next week and we'll see how the healing process is. Ladies and gents, oh, mate, it's been a blast tonight. I've loved it. Mark Adams.
Have a good week, everybody. Let's look forward to going through to the 4th round tomorrow, which I'm sure we will do. And I think we'll scrape it against Preston as well.
What, you sure we're going to scrape it tomorrow?
I think we'll scrape tomorrow 2-1, and I think we'll beat Preston 2-1.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to hold you to this tomorrow, I promise you. Chairman of the board, my good friend Alan Watton.
Good evening, everybody.
What do you mean, good evening? It's good night now. We're going.
He's got a bad finger.
A bad finger.
God's sake.
God bless you all. Everybody in Blue Nose land. Blah, blah, blah. Bye.
Oh my god!
Don't forget to read my blog.
Yes.
Yes.
If it ever gets
really
published.
Good blog as well, Alan.
Yes.
It's not just a blog. Right? It's an objective blog, and it's good. And
This one isn't objective at all.
Now, somebody did comment earlier on it. I didn't want to mention it because I didn't want you to get too big-headed, so I didn't mention it.
Comments already.
Well done.
But all good, Alan. All positive.
Great. You're such a bum sniffer. Lord. Ladies and gentlemen, my great friend Craig Courtney, God bless you.
Good night, everyone. Next week, we will be joined by one of the ladies from her game too, but also home and away supporter in Claire Giblin. Going to be a great show. She's very open, very honest, and you can ask her anything, but she will tell you as it stands. So join in for that one. Be a good one.
So is that a Birmingham City ladies player?
She's not a ladies player, no. She's one of us as a fans, but she does a lot of the work with her game too.
Yeah, she knows her stuff. She's pretty clever.
But doesn't miss a home or away game. Always there with her mum. Very open and honest. So
how old is the girl?
I never ask a lady her age. So how old are you, Nick?
Yes, 20s, 30s, 40s, I don't know.
Not as old as you. Just say that.
Yeah, they're not as old as Linda.
Oh, crikey.
107. And she's still talking.
Good night, everybody.
This is it. Tilton Talk Show is now over. Sponsored by Boyle Sports, principal sponsor of Birmingham City Football Club. Craig Courtney, Chris Browne. I'm going to ask Wayne Meredith to shut the show down. So
Wayne. Come on, Wayne. Come on, Wayne.
Oh, come on, Wayne.
Come on, Wayne.
Come on, Wayne.
Good evening, all.
Go for it, Mark.
It's afternoon where you are.
Wayne. I love it.
Wayne's World.
Okay. Well, thanks. No, I really appreciate you guys. It's been a great time, and keep right on as always. And hopefully, we'll see you again soon.
Yeah. See, when you come back, make sure you let us all know that you're going to come back. Okay. So that we can be at West Brom, or Leicester.
Good night, everybody.
I'm going to buy the club.
Mark, an absolute pleasure and a joy. Alan, Craig, Mark, and of course the old mate.
Don't forget
Good
Wayne.
Night. God bless. Take care.
Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining us. You've been listening to your Tilton Talk Show.